Brand new TV show spoiler review here on Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Dinnenberg. Today I am breaking down the seventh episode of season two of Peacemaker, the penultimate episode of its second season. So if you're new guys to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, ad theater reactions, and every Monday I break down the box office. So please subscribe, ring the bell if you're new to the channel. Comment down below. What are your thoughts on Peacemaker episode 7? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you like this season so far more than season one? And what are your bold predictions for the final episode of Peacemaker? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section down below. And also, guys, please hit the thumbs up button. So I was back all the way on board of Peacemaker after last week. I adore Peacemaker season one. I thought we got off to a rocky start in season two, but really hit the stride, sorry, in episode six. So the episode six was a fantastic episode, easily the strongest of the season. And the cliffhanger wanted me to click on the next episode so badly. And it sucked that I had to wait a week to wait for what happened at the end of the cliffhanger. And maybe I'm going to be more negative than most. I felt very underwhelmed by this episode. And I think because of the greatness of last week's episode and the setup that it had in, Dimension X, as they call it in the comics, this universe where his pocket universe where the Nazis won World War II. I really thought we were going to sit in this universe for much longer and really understand the dynamic between the differences, the true differences between our world and this dimension. The cliffhanger at the end with Adebayo running away from all the white people. Um, there were some moments here that I really enjoyed in this episode, but I did not find myself loving this episode. I think it was, as it pertains to addressing potential society themes and norms, and maybe or how different are we from a society that where the Nazis won World War II, it all just felt to me very surface level. And they just didn't dive deep into what it's like in this world, the effects it has on everyone. They even set up the fact that clearly they locked up non-white people, basically. Um, you know, I think they set up a lot of things that they just didn't do in this episode, and we might not get back to this world. I think there's a shot we get back to this world because towards the end of the episode, we know that Rick Flag now is going to be opening these portals next episode, and obviously in this universe, his son is alive, even though we did not see him in this episode. I think there were moments of greatness here. I love the team up at the beginning of the episode between Chris and Harcourt. Thought that was really well done, very violent and gory. Um, I like the fact that Judo Master is helping out the group and not just working for Argus blindly, even though he obviously had to fight the 11th Street kids last season. But I was just really frustrated watching this. Where let's go through the examples I'm talking about. Adebayo has this amazing cliffhanger last week where she is running away from all these racist Nazi people behind her, where they're like, oh my God, a black one of them got out. Like, it's a horrifying moment. And the chase scene felt very cartoonish, where she's outrunning everybody. She's running into the pool. And instead of these people running around the pool and stopping her, they jump in the pool with her and then they all get electrocuted. It just felt like I was watching a cartoon. And I think Gunn had a tough decision, which was this show is definitely a lighter, rated R, raunchy show where, yes, it does tackle some very heavy topics, but it always keeps its comedy as one of the central tones of the show. And this is a universe that is, could it be darker? Where the Nazis are running the world. There's a mural of Hitler in the Argus office. And I also thought that was also a cartoon where I would understand, I think, if Chris is not the smartest person, let's just say that. But it would have made sense if maybe he didn't see the flags and he just didn't think about that there were all white people around. But when they started being like, there's a Hitler mural right next to him, and then he didn't realize that they were Nazis, I just found it to be not a funny joke and ridiculous. And it made Chris look like such a stupid character. And yes, is he the dumbest character maybe of the 11th Street Kids? Sure. But they made him look really stupid, I thought, in this episode. And I thought the commentary made between the vigilantes I thought was better than any and the jokes where I thought the best joke, especially talking about society and the themes, when vigilante says, we, America won the World War II, and the other vigilante from this universe says, oh, it must be a utopia there now if the Nazis aren't running things. And that joke was funny, but also hit on a lot of important themes about what are the real differences between this dimension and our dimension and our world. And that was it basically. They kind of just made it more for jokes than actually taking it seriously. Adebayo's doing the Scrabble game with Judah Master, and he's like, I already read a whole book about all of this stuff. It just felt like they really rushed this episode. It's 33 minutes with credits, so it's usually around like a 28, 27-minute episode. And again, I don't need it to be long. I just thought we were going to sit in this world, talk about more of the problems of this world. But this was really a race o'clock, the episode where they're just trying to get back to their dimension. The big revelation towards the end of the episode is obviously, we know in our universe, or the main DC universe, Augie, Chris's dad, was basically a Nazi. Wasn't he? Was a Nazi. Even in this universe, though, which is run by Nazis, he's not necessarily a Nazi. He's not a racist, but he says instead of fighting the big battles, he's just fighting the low crime stuff. And I just didn't think that like made him a saint or anything, where he's the most famous superhero, but instead of actually fighting for the real issues of society, he's just fighting what comes in front of him. Now, yes, is it great that he's not a Nazi in this universe? That's awesome, but clearly his other son is. Keith is clearly a racist and a Nazi, but I just didn't think it made him look like this more like this perfect person. Now, the shock of when Vigilante comes in and kills him, I thought was really good. Um, Keith being so pissed off that Chris accidentally killed the other Chris. Um, I love the fact that after he gets beat up, obviously Chris is like, get off him and all this stuff. But then Harcourt was gonna kill him. It's like we can't afford you for coming after him ever again. And obviously before she does that, she gets bumped and she has to leave. And Keith is obviously alive. So I think we're gonna get the eventual Keith versus Chris showdown here. Because obviously in this universe, Keith now has no brother and no father in this universe. But I think there were some moments there. We also had the cameo of one of the of Sidney Happerson, who was one of the lead tech guys in Superman for Lex Luthor. So that was the other, I guess, cameo so far we've gone in the show. Um, but I was very underwhelmed. I thought they really could have attacked a lot of issues about society and sat in it with the characters where you have a black person who is running away from all these white people. It's such a horrific situation that ends in such a cartoonish way and non-realistic way. You have Chris, who sure is not a smart person, doesn't even realize with a Hitler mural that these people are Nazis. Um, and it just felt all surface level. And James Gunn's someone who really likes to dive deep into themes in his movies, especially like Guardians Volume 3, for example, with the character of Rocket, and even about Superman in that movie, about where he fits into society. And I thought this episode had a great chance to be one of the most interesting episodes of comic book television with delving into this universe. And I just thought they missed the boat. And it was an episode that felt very rushed. I felt like I just wanted to keep getting to the next thing as quickly as possible. And again, there were some moments I really liked. Chris and Harcourt together was great in this episode when Harcourt just like, lays on his, lies down on him when he's in the motorcycle. That was a really sweet moment. They clearly feel like a destined couple. Vigilante was the best part of this episode. His comedy was great. His comedy about the society itself was very funny, and also poignant at the same time. Um, I just think they could have delved deep into basically every single subplot, and I thought they just went very surface level. So overall, I don't think it was a bad episode or anything. I just felt frustrated and very underwhelmed by the episode. So what are your thoughts, guys, on episode 7 of Peacemaker? Do you agree with me or do you disagree with me? Again, this is my opinion. We'd love to hear your opinion down in the comment section down below. Like this video, subscribe, and I'll be back next Friday giving you guys another spoiler review of the final episode of season 2 of Peacemaker.